Hey everyone, and welcome back to Under the Brick. And today I'm going to be talking about 3 new Dream sets that were literally just revealed by Lego that will be coming out in May this year. So let's just get into these sets because I'm excited to talk about them.
Goop! Goop!
First up we have set 71485 Mateo and Z-Blob The Night Battle Mech. So we already have another mech. Okay, for context I've just done the climbing mech review, so I'm really jumping into another mech. That's the way of life. Lego life. So it looks like a really cool mech. It's got a very big Gundam vibe to it, I feel. I think it's the sword and the shield and the wings and the little antenna doing it for me. But I do like the look of it. There's some interesting colours on it as well. There's a bit of coral pink around the guns there. There's a nice bit of light blue used throughout it as well, along with regular blue as well on top of that, and with the usual trans green and white that is seen on a lot of Z-Blob builds. But it looks really cool. There's a lot of interesting prints as well from the looks of it. There's a new part for I presume it's a new part. It looks a little bit like the superhero faces we've been getting for Marvel and DC, but from the looks of it, it has pinholes on the side so you can put the stamp piece on each cheek. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's going to be appearing in an upcoming Marvel set, because I feel like that could be used for a few characters. On top of that, there's an interesting new larger macaroni piece, or at least a larger version of the macaroni piece we've been getting recently from Dreamzz especially. So this is quite cool. It seems to be 4 studs wide, and I think it uses regular pins because you can see a few red pins in it. But I presume it will be like that one circle technical element with the pinholes and then the axle holes. So that's kind of interesting. I like the look of that piece. Hopefully they do it in other colours, obviously, hopefully. There's also, as well, these newer, larger windscreen pieces. There's one on the chest here, and then there's 2 on the shoulders. I think they're new. They look like the normal one, but a little bit more rounded. I'm not sure if they are new, because they don't look like the new ones we've been getting in a few of the car sets from Marvel, and that one Dream set with the space car had that one. Had that windscreen piece in it. I think it isn't that, but it does look slightly new. It just looks a bit more rounded than the usual windscreen piece. Sorry, I'm just going on a bit of a tangent. And the minifigures in this set look pretty good too. So we got Mateo and Logan returning, and they both have some new looks. Logan has a bit more of the sort of yellowy orange in his colour palette, and he also has the return of the hood and hat combo from Hidden Side in dark blue and that off orangey yellow as well. So that's kind of interesting. He has a hockey stick as well and a new face print too with some red eyes. Guy's going evil. Actually, wait, he's already evil in this set. I'm getting confused. And then we have Mateo down there, and he has a large sort of goo tank on his back. I don't know if he's going a bit goo Ouija on us, like in Luigi's Mansion or something. But it does look like an interesting build. Him and his doppelganger also have this new vest piece. I'm not going to jump into it right away because it appears in another set coming up. I want to save my little discussion when we get to that. There's also their evil doppelgangers as well, and I do like their names. They are quite funny. Mad Teo, as in Mad Teo, and then Dogan. It's like D-O Logan, so it's Dogan. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but that is quite funny. Also in this set as well, there's an interesting raven piece as well that's moulded in translucent pink with a bit of black. That looks really cool. I like that. They also, it seems like they're carrying a little jar with a building in it. I don't know if this has to do with the Dreamzz lore, but that appears in a few other sets, so I'm curious to see where that goes. There's also the sneak fella with the cat body with the regular minifigure head on that, and then the Shivel. I want to say Shivel, but it probably isn't. It's probably Shiver or something. But the one with the big head, so they make a return, so that's quite cool. So we're on to the alternate builds of this set, and there's 2 in this set. Well, there's 3 counting the build that is on the box. So there's 3 alt builds in this set that you can choose. First up, there's this sort of little rounded mech with these sort of large cannons on its shoulders and a much more sort of, I guess you could say roly-poly look. There is an interesting little discrepancy I just want to say with this, because I'm noticing something in this lifestyle image, and I think it'll make sense when I get to the other builds. But this build does look interesting. So next up, there's just some more lifestyle shots of the main build of the set at some different angles. So you can have it sort of standing there. You can see all the minifigures laid out there, so you can get a sense of the scale of this thing as well. I'm not sure how much it is compared to a Titan mech from Ninjago. I have the climbing mech fresh in my mind, so I'm trying to figure out how tall this thing would be. I'd maybe say they might be the same height, possibly. I'm just judging from all the minifigures standing there. There's another lifestyle shot of it in action. You get to look at the articulation on it as well. From the looks of it, it does not have knees and elbows. Whoops. So from the looks of it, you build up this chest part, and then from the blue one, you can build the mech that's on the front of the box. The green one is a sort of, I think it's like a centaur from the looks of it, that's doing jousting. So you build up a lance and use the dome shield as a shield. And then the build at the bottom here, that's the third build in the orange line here, seems to be that roly-poly mech I mentioned earlier. Weirdly, that one has a sticker on the front of the cockpit. Say in the instructions they tell you to put that sticker there, and then on the other ones you leave it out. From far as I remember, Dreamzz doesn't do that, so I'm curious to see how they work around that in the instructions, because it would be a tad confusing for kids to build one and then build one of the other ones, and then to tell them not to put stickers in certain places. I think that would confuse people. You know, it's Lego, they probably have this worked out, and I'm just reading into it a little bit too much. So I'm excited to see when this comes out then. It looks like a really good mech, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think with fly fish.
So next up is set 71484, Cooper's Robot Dinosaur C-Rex. I presume the C might stand for car or construction. Hopefully it stands for car. So this is an interesting build. A lot of people have been saying they would want like a brick-built dinosaur for, say, Jurassic Park. And I'm not saying it's going to scratch that itch, but I think it might be close. It has an interesting sort of feel to it. It's got all these sort of rusted elements to it and all these caution symbols and all these various car parts on it to make like the shape of a dinosaur. And I think that's quite cool. It's very imaginative. I really like the detail on it. So Cooper here as well, it seems like he has a new look alongside Zoe, and then their two doppelgangers are included in this set as well. Both of them have their hair pieces from last wave, but in that not newer, but that interesting like pinky colour, like the dark pink. So that's interesting. And there's also that raven again with another building in a jar. I don't know what that's about. Next we have like the pictures of the instruction booklet. So from the looks of it, you build up this main parts. That's like the sort of front body of the beast. And then you can either do a T-Rex or in this case a C-Rex and the pterodactyl. So that's interesting. I'm curious to know like what's the, consider not the difference, but from the looks of it, they do look pretty different. That's quite interesting. Here's another shot like right up close to that pterodactyl build. You get to look at all the detail and you can see like the stickers and things. I don't know what this kid's doing here. Like they're holding up the minifigure really close. I don't know what they're doing. Another lifestyle shot. But back to the minifigures though. So I forgot to mention this with the last set with the doppelganger for Logan. But it looks like they have this interesting like sort of shoulder pad piece that is like a little bit translucent pink going on, and the black. Cooper's little doppelganger here has that. And also their names are, well, for the doppelgangers, their names are Duper and Doey. I read it as Dobby for some reason. I had to cut myself off there. So that's their doppelgangers. But Cooper has that body warmer piece that was mentioned in the last set. And I'm getting big Marty McFly vibes from this, if Marty McFly was a robot. He has some interesting leg printing as well. They got like side leg printing. Mateo had that in the last set, but I'll talk about that when we get to the last set because I'll show it a bit more up close. But that is some really intricate like printing. And also has the Dreamzz symbol on his chest there for some reason. So he's gone full on robot. I don't know why he's gone full on robot. And then he also has this interesting like weapon that has an hourglass that's like dual molded. So it's translucent blue on this little stand. So there's a stud on one end and like a pole connection like hole on the other. So that lightning bolt piece can go through. That's quite interesting. I think a lot of people are going to get some interesting use out of that for like joints in like smaller mechs. Also that little sneak fella's there again. I don't know. It seems like he might be working with them. Or he's just hanging about. He has nothing better to do. I don't know why they're there. Hopefully they get a life. I do like these flames as well. These are really interesting builds. I think this will spark some people's imagination. I think it's really interesting. The colour scheme for it as well is quite good. And there's also that larger macaroni piece again in orange from the looks of it, but it does look slightly shiny though. Might just be my eyes playing up. Nah, it's not shiny. I got confused and I saw the moulding lines for it. I should not be doing these videos this late.
Hardly name is on the nice plutonian shore.
Quoth the raven.
Eat my shorts. Bye.
So next up, our final set of this video is 71478, the Neverwitch's Midnight Raven. So this is an interesting build. It's this large raven carrying a house on its back. That's pretty cool. It uses those larger crystal pieces from Ninjago as well. I'm happy enough they're returning that. And especially in this quantity as well, you get like a pair, you get 6 of them, so that's like 3 pairs worth of them, so that's cool. Minifigures in this set are just characters we've previously gone. So we got Logan's doppelganger again, Dogan, Then we got Mateo here with the large goo tank on his back, along with the little Z blob he's carrying. Then we have Izzy's doppelganger, so her name is Dizzy. I think that's quite good. Her hairpiece looks really cool as well. It's translucent again, sorry, that translucent pink and black element again. There's also that raven again. It's not carrying a jar this time. Interestingly though, it seems like the Nether Witch, who's standing here on the centre of the creature, is holding one of them. I don't know if she's like grabbing them all to make them into something. She has a large cauldron there. I don't know if this is going to be like a hocus pocus thing going on, but it seems like she's collecting them for a reason. And then as well, there's a new character, that being Astrid, who's like a lady in a wheelchair with some rockets on it. That's pretty metal. I'm hoping she's gonna like fly in and rescue them. Hopefully she's safe as well. That seems a little bit dangerous. There's some more lifestyle shots of it. So from the looks of it, you build up the main part of the Raven, and then you have a sort of flatbed thing going on where, and I say from the looks of it because in the next image, the house is on its own and it's got a bit of a Baba and Yaga thing going on, and the cauldron's been turned into like a little beast. So I presume those two builds are what you build last out of this set, but they look really good as well. That house especially, there's some interesting shaping going on with, especially with the chimney as well, and also the stickers as well. There's like these sort of runes going on from the looks of it, and there's a nice shot of it up close. Then you can see like there's a lot of space on it. At least from the looks of it, there's a lot of space going on. At least you can put a load of minifigures sort of standing around it. I'm curious to know what's in that house. I feel like they'll probably hide some interesting things in there, like maybe just some furniture, but I'm interested to see if there's like an interesting like sticker or something, like a book or something, because it feels like a perfect place to put something like that in. And there's the cauldron as well, so that's pretty good. This is an interesting set. Hopefully it looks really good. I'm just looking up the pictures of it because I'm filming this live, so sorry I've been kind of rambling while I've been going through this review, but I'm just sort of marvelling at this set. Also as well, on top of that, the Nether Witch also has that interesting cloud piece from Hidden Side that was used on the Slender Man fella, along with Mysterio from Spider-Man. And like I said, she's got one of the little buildings in the jar there. Also from the looks of it, Mateo has that hourglass piece that I mentioned earlier with Cooper, so that's interesting. And also as well, there's that Spider-Man web piece from the Junior Spider-Man sets that's used on the side there. That's probably for like a jail cell-y sort of thing. And that cauldron build looks amazing. That might be a new part as well. I've not seen that part before. It's this large sort of dome piece with some holes for some stuff to go into, so that's interesting. So that's my thoughts on these sets, and I gotta say, Dreamzz is really hitting out the park. I'm excited to see what the next wave of sets is going to be for Dreamzz. Judging by some of the set names, it seems like Izzy's going to be getting her own set, and there is possibly going to be some structures, at least from the sounds of it. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go, and I guess that's the video. You leave your thoughts below on what set you like, and I guess that's a goodbye for now. See you next time then.